Hey everyone, this is Austin Schur here with We Write About Music, and today I'm speaking with Prince Philip. He's got a brand new single out. It's called Hour of Need, and I cannot wait to talk to him all about it. Thank you so much for being here. How are you doing today? What's going on?
Hi, Austin. Hi, everybody. I'm doing great.
Doing great in beautiful Italy, right in the middle of tourist season.
Indeed.
So listen, I want to hop right into this. You've got this song, and it is like the perfect blend of like you've got pop, some R&B with some heavy beats going on, and I kind of feel like it encapsulates like the feeling of originality because so many people try to make this type of music and it kind of sounds stale and recycled, but this feels fresh and exciting. I want to know about like the blueprint of making this song. How do you start a song?
Well, for this song in particular, I feel like this is like a turning point in my career because I would say since the beginning, I always made my music as some sort of cinematic kind of thing.
Right.
But with this one, which is the closing track on my upcoming album that I'm gonna, release
Sure, sure.
gradually between the end of this year, the beginning of the next one. You know, I wanted to embody a feeling of change, a feeling of redemption. This song, also the lyrics, they talk about, you know, the need of a change, the need to change my ways, my old ways. And so I wanted also to embody this with a change on the sound of it, you know?
No, that fully makes sense. And listen, I don't want to talk too much about the album, but I do have questions about it. So, I think one of the most important things of creating an album is the track listing. You know what I mean? Whether it comes to like balancing the energy, um, you can't front load it with all like the good songs and then kind of have like
Yeah.
the not so good ones at the end. But I think that having a song specifically at the end is really important because it kind of finishes up the experience. I haven't
Hmm.
listened to the rest of the record, but why do you think this song fits so well as the closer?
Oh gosh, because this album that I am so excited about, you got to think I've been writing it for the last 4 years. So
Right.
like a lot of things happened between these 4 years. Like I moved to Atlanta, I came back to Italy, I went to London, I came back to Italy again.
Wow.
I went through a whole lot of different, personal
Yeah.
relationships and everything. So this album carries so much emotion, so much personal history,
Hmm.
and it has a lot of meaning for me. But I would define it as an album where I transition from a really dark place. So it starts out as this cinematic, almost as a um, horror movie track list, something
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
Then I wanted to really make the listener feel like there's this change, there's this transition from darkness to light. And so this is the reason why I put this song specifically at the end.
Nice, man. Well, listen,
Because
that yeah, that's a great explanation.
yeah, because I wanted to like to make you feel that this time has come to an end and we are going to something new, you know?
That's that's beautiful. Listen, like I said, it's so important to have that song that finishes up, and I feel like the emotional power of the song really hits hard. Is this the lead single off the record?
Oh no. No,
No.
no, no. I would say that this is definitely one good record and it's one of its own inside the album.
Oh no, no, I'm
But
sorry. I meant like, is this the first single you're releasing off of this
yeah,
album? Okay,
yeah,
so that's what I'm saying. And I think it's really powerful to release the last song because you know what I'm saying? It gives people an idea of what they're going to listen to, but I feel like the rest of the record is going to be not necessarily different, but different themes and tones in what people are
yeah.
going to hear, which is awesome.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. In
now,
fact, just
yeah,
to
go for it.
because it's it's so different, you know, it evolves into a lot of different things, this project that I'm working on. So in order to not make the listener feel, you know, disoriented, I just want to release it in EPs and
Yeah,
then unite it at the end. So I
that's
would go
awesome.
from one theme to the other. I would say three songs, and three songs, and
Sure.
then release the whole thing together.
No, that's smart. That's the way to do it. I mean, that's kind of the way that the music industry is now. People are so focused on singles and this and that, but if you could do these little chunks and then bring it all together for the full story, I think that's awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Now, I want to know a little bit about your actual process of making the music. Like, what comes first for you? Are you more of a lyrics person, or does it come with the production side?
This is funny. I thought about it today and I couldn't give me an answer because it's more like, you know, uh,
Sure.
cereal and milk. Like, what do you put in the bowl first? Is
The
it milk
cereal.
or is it cereal? You know,
I
it's
think
just
it's a cereal.
yeah. But everybody has its own, you know, perception. Everybody has
Sure,
its
sure.
own process. So it works what it works. You know,
Right.
sometimes I start with the
Yeah.
lyrics, sometimes I start with the beat, sometimes I just start with the harmony. I lay down
Hmm.
some chords in the piano, go for the melody, then write the lyrics, and then in the end, I compose the beat. So it really, you know, it's different each time. But for this one, I would say that I made the beat first,
Okay.
definitely.
Sounds good. I mean, listen, I know from a songwriting perspective, sometimes you're walking around or you're in the shower and the lyrics come to you, but sometimes you get a beat in your head or the harmony in your head, so there's really no correct process on how to do it. It just kind of matters how it ends up in the end.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, I would say for this one, I composed the beat, right? And then I struggle a little in the beginning of which direction should I take with the lyrics. So I thought about it. I sit there for, I would say, like a couple weeks before deciding which way to go. But then as the first line popped up in my mind, you know, the rest of it came in like in 15 minutes. It was incredible.
Really.
Yeah, yeah.
You
It
know what?
was so
Sometimes those are the
linear.
best songs, the ones that you don't have to spend months and months on. It's the ones
Yeah,
that come immediately. And it's easier on you because I know how hard it is to make multiple songs in an actual album. It takes time.
yeah,
Love
yeah.
that. Now you operate as a solo artist, at least in the name.
Hmm.
But I want to know about, like, do you have anyone helping you out with the production or the beats or anything like that? Or is this truly a solo project?
This is, you know, this is a bit of a struggle because it is indeed a solo project.
Yeah.
I write, produce, sing every
Wow.
song. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
amazing.
I, yeah, because it's really hard for me, but I think that if you ask any artist, it's hard for everybody to find the right collaborators because, you know, a producer, a mixing engineer, a mastering engineer has to really be in touch with what you want to communicate without putting their own
Exactly.
ego in it.
Yes.
So this is where I'm struggling, and it is honestly a weakness because I spend much more time working on my music, much more
Hmm.
time to release something, and so this is definitely something I'm looking forward to improve. You know?
Dude, I that's truly so impressive because for me, I think that sometimes production and doing and mixing and mastering, it's like speaking another language. You know what I mean? And you're right in that the people that you might hire might sort of take advantage and completely change your song from what you want it to be from to what they want it to be.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, I guess how long have you been producing music for? Like, how long did that take you to learn to be able to do it for yourself?
I would say that I started using Pro Tools, so that's the software that I
Yeah, yeah,
use
yeah.
in I would say 2019
Okay.
because I was approaching studios for the first times when I was 20 years old,
Sure.
after, some years just writing music, me and my piano.
Yeah.
But in 2019, I realized when I worked shoulder to shoulder with a producer, that I needed to know how to do that.
It's
Because
amazing.
I think that also going forward, like, I want to have the power to shape my destiny, shape my future. I don't
Yeah.
want it to be in the hands of somebody else, you
That's
know?
so smart. Yeah, I fully agree. And I think at the end of the day, like when people hear that you, I guess, are a one-man band, it's that more impressive. They know that like what they're hearing was completely made by you. You had a vision for it, and the end result is amazing. And just based on this song, I think people would be impressed by it.
Thank you,
Um,
man.
you're welcome. And I think that kind of it begs another question of like, okay, you have you have this strong platform of you can make whatever you want. How do you end up deciding on what you want it to sound like when the options are endless? Like, not necessarily in genre, but like it could be anything.
Nice question. I think it could have a lot of answers, but I definitely stick to what I resonate with. So
Sure,
may this be a sound, may this be, a chord progression, but I would say that I can classify myself as a pop R&B artist,
sure,
you know? So I feel that that one is pretty much my sound, but I want to give it my own twist, definitely.
yeah,
Because there's, unfortunately, there's so much music out right now that sounds exactly the same. I don't want to be in
yes.
that category.
No,
So,
man, not at all. That's the thing is like, I listen to music all day. So I hear so much that sounds so similar to each other. And it's like, I know that when people make music, they're trying to, like, oh, these are my influences and I want to make something similar to them. But then you put it out and you don't have a name for yourself. And then people are like, no, this is the same as listening to this artist. So taking those influences and trying to do something different is the most important thing you can do as an independent artist.
mhm,
Um, I guess the question is like, obviously you listen to music yourself. Who are some of your influences and how hard is it to not make the same music they are?
very hard. I would say
Yeah,
that very, very, yeah.
right.
I would say that my main influence since 2020, I would say, is The Weeknd, the first works of The Weeknd,
Nice.
because I just love, the soundscape that
Sure.
he and his team were able to create. It has a lot of mystique, a lot of mystery, and I just love that. And I try to shape my sound in that direction because
Sure.
I love cinema, I love movies. I like to communicate these two arts, art forms. So that was the way that I started going.
Right.
I digged till I find my own sound.
That's awesome. Listen, I promise I'm not just saying this, but when I listened to this song, I definitely heard a bit of The Weeknd, but not in the way that it's like, oh, this is The Weeknd, because your voice is so much more unique than his is. And I know that you're
Thank
creating these sort of like really intricate sound designs, but it's not the same. But the influence is there. And I think you've sort of balanced the line of, hey, everyone that's going to listen, this is who I enjoy, but this is me and this is what I'm doing. And it's so difficult to do now. So congrats on that because that's awesome.
That's an amazing compliment. Thank
It's
you.
true though. It's true because I know how hard it is. I'm sure, listen, no one's heard this song more than you have. You know what I mean? And I think the more, I think the more that you listen to something, the more you become a perfectionist. And you're like, okay, no, 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 this has to change. This has to change. And
Yeah.
you have to have a confidence to be like, no, what I'm doing is different and I'm confident in it. And I think everyone will like it.
Yeah, don't tell me, man. I realized that I am my own pain in the ass sometimes.
Exactly. Exactly. It's true, but it proves
I
that you
overdo it.
care.
I overdo
It
it.
doesn't, no, the thing is, you overdoing it doesn't show up in the music. You know what I'm saying? I think overdoing it would be sitting in front of the computer for 10 to 12 hours at a time and changing this thing and playing with the EQs. And I think this needs a little more bass in it. That's
Yeah,
just you caring that at the end it's good enough.
yeah, yeah.
So
That's right.
that's awesome. In terms of, and again, not for the whole album, but I guess for just you making music as a whole, do you work on songs individually until they're finished, or do you work on a few different things at the same time?
I jump around a lot,
Okay,
you know, because um I would say for my limited skills, I I need more time to finish songs.
of course.
And if I stick for too much time to one track only, it starts to be redundant.
Yeah,
And so I like to jump around. Yeah, definitely.
sure. That makes sense. Although I feel like that might be difficult at times because you're just like, oh, well, if I do this, and then, like maybe it's better to focus on one thing, but again, everyone does everything differently. And if it works for you, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Nice. Have you had the opportunity to play any of these songs live? Or is that something you've done or want to do?
Well, I was listening to one of your interviews. I don't remember the name of the artist, but you was talking about how difficult it is for artists today to find live opportunities,
Yeah,
you know. So
extremely.
extremely, yeah. So because, music spots, they want names, you know, some big names, medium big names.
Right.
So for upcoming artists is pretty difficult. So I was sick of this. I was really sick of this. So I decided to create my own event.
There
So
you go.
on June 30th, which was my 26th birthday,
Nice.
you know, I made a concert called Presenting Prince Philippe because it was actually my first concert as Prince Philippe.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I was able to make 100 people come out. So we filled out
That's amazing.
a whole place, and that really filled my heart because it was on my birthday too. It was the best birthday present ever.
That is so cool. Listen, that is the way to do it in music. Like
Yeah.
you're never gonna immediately have a label or a manager or an agent to do these things for you. If you want to see it happen, you're the one that has to do it yourself. How did
hmm
it feel to like see the success in that event off the first one?
It was it was overwhelming because I put so much effort in organizing all that stuff because obviously I did it all on my own because
Right.
you know you have to. You cannot reach out to too many
It's true.
people. So seeing that all my efforts in the promo, in the putting together the track list, the rehearsal with the musicians, organizing, the lottery that I did that night
Nice.
where I gave away merch and and stuff. Seeing that 100 people came out was just the biggest award.
That's so
You know.
awesome. I mean, listen, I live in Los Angeles. We have 50 concerts a night. There's so many different concert venues and places and parks and whatever it is for people to play their shows and either, film content for social media or like get their name out there.
hmm
But I think that's it's a different situation because it's one of the biggest cities in the world. From what it sounds like, you're in a place that I don't know the music scene there, but at the same time, there's not as many venues. I'll tell you that. And so instead of right, exactly. So
Agreed.
so instead of going to those venues and doing your own thing, is kind of one of the only options you have. And I'm so happy that it worked out for you. And then
Thank
it's a basis point to like go off and do something similar in the future and say, hey, listen, I did this. I brought the people out and it was a success because that's all venues want to know is can they sell tickets? Can they bring people in?
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
awesome, man. That's so awesome. Um, I have a few more questions for you. I want
Yep.
to know, not necessarily at this past event, but like what was a favorite song of yours to perform?
I would say my favorite song to perform live is my song Save Me, which
Cool.
is a past song, acoustic one, which is
Okay.
me and some keys, so piano and voice. But I love it and hate it because it's a very personal song where I get very vulnerable, you
Sure.
know? But seeing how people, even we are in Italy, right? I sing in English. So
Yeah.
some people may not understand plainly what I am saying, but as I see that at the end of the first chorus where I poured emotion into it, they recognize it and they just start clapping their hands. That means everything. So that's definitely my favorite song to perform. Yeah.
That's the best. Listen, I don't care what language you're listening to music in. Sometimes, because I think most people don't even listen to the words, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
people
yeah.
listen to music for the way that it makes them feel. But if you can get people going with the melodies and the production and the beats and all that stuff, that's all that matters. Like they're connecting to your music in some way. And if they really care, they'll translate it themselves, or they can ask you. They can always send a message on Instagram or whatever it is. That's so
Yes.
cool. Well, listen, this song, it comes out on September 12th, correct?
Yes.
Do you have a timeline yet for, I guess, the rest of the record? You don't have to say if you don't want to, but it's up to you.
So my goal at the beginning of 2025, I set a goal to release at least 6 songs. Right now I have two.
Hey,
You
man,
know,
it's fine.
before
It's better
this
than
release,
zero.
yeah, yeah. Before this release is coming another collaboration that
Hmm.
I did with another friend of mine. And so by September 12th, I will have four.
Cool.
But I am planning to release another one in November.
Nice. Okay, cool. Listen, we're going to focus on the now. I mean, once this comes out, and again, we're recording before this releases, but once it does, like people need to listen to this.
Yeah.
Um, I want to know, is there a release this year from any artist that you've really enjoyed that you feel like maybe subconsciously inspired your sound?
I can tell you what gave me the idea to start out this song. I was listening to it was actually an album from last year. You
Okay,
know, I dig a lot R&B and also hip hop.
sure.
So last year it was in the hip hop world a year of this. This is,
Yeah, yeah,
left
yeah.
and
Oh,
right,
yeah. Last year was huge.
you know.
Exactly.
And so I was listening to this album from Metro Boomin and Future,
Sure.
and I don't quite remember the name of the track, but I know that there is one inside where I kind of got my rhythm, you know,
Nice.
the drums
Yeah.
from it. Yeah, something similar. It inspired me, so then the rest I twisted it. But yeah, that was the main inspiration.
Very cool. I must have missed that record, but now I got to go back and listen and then make the comparison.
Yeah.
My last my last thing for you here is basically like, is there anything at all about this song, maybe something that I didn't ask, that is just super important for people to know before they listen?
Yeah, I would say that the main message, in my generation, we are focusing, there's this word healing that I am hearing a lot, you know.
Yeah,
I think that we are in a space as a generation where we have much more space to talk about this.
it's true.
But I feel that right now there's a lot of people who are romanticizing this a lot. And what I mean by that is that they tend to simplify it, to oversimplify it. because to me, the path to heal is a path where you have to confront yourself, to dig deeper into your fears, to your darker shades. And that's what I want to do with my music. That's what
Nice.
this project is all about. You know, we start from a dark place, we end up in the light. So I want to share my path. I want to share my story just to give my perspective on this.
That's an amazing answer. Truly.
Thank you.
Listen, man, this was so great to get to talk to you. I so appreciate you taking the time. But before we wrap up, I want to plug everything for you. So, for anyone listening or watching, if you didn't know by now, I'm speaking with Prince Philip. The song is called Hour of Need. It is officially out on September 12th, but by the time this comes out, the song will be out. And it's just a great song. I don't know what else to say other than like, we're gonna have the links everywhere so that you can listen and share and follow along and do that stuff. But like, I'm so excited for the album that's gonna drop. I'm excited for all the singles that are on the way. I feel like if you're discovering this artist, this is like the ground floor of like what's gonna be an escalation. So this is the time to follow along.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate you for calling me here. I loved being here, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you so much, man. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. The day is basically over, but have a good night.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
Thank you,
hope to
man.
speak soon. This was so great. Thank you again.
Thank you.
All right, take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.